contemplation of a wise sage, yet with a sense of urgency and emotional conviction. The style is not a monologue, but a direct address to the listener, drawing them into a shared contemplation. My friend, we are all architects of our own lives. We build our days, our years, our destinies brick by tedious brick. And yet, how often do we stand before the great edifice of our aspirations, the monumental goals, the colossal dreams, and feel a crushing weight of impossibility? We ask ourselves, how can I, a single soul, bridge this chasm? How can I transform from what I am to what I wish to be? We are a species obsessed with the grand and the spectacular. We glorify the lightning strike, the sudden breakthrough, the moment of revelation that changes everything in a single magnificent instant. We are taught to wait for the thunderclap, to believe that transformation arrives in a whirlwind of dramatic change. We gaze upon the man who has built a fortune and see only the final breathtaking tower of his wealth, never the countless unnoticed stones he laid in the dark, one by one. This is a profound and ancient illusion. It is the folly of the impatient mind. For the true path to greatness is not a sudden leap, but an endless succession of small, almost imperceptible steps. The river that carves the deepest canyon does so not with a sudden flood, but with a relentless, persistent drop-by-drop flow over millennia. The sculptor who reveals the masterpiece within the stone does not strike a single final blow, but taps away tirelessly with 1,000 minuscule hammers. This, my friend, is the wisdom that we must rediscover. It is the power of the atom, the power of the smallest, most fundamental unit of change, and it is the most potent force in the universe. This is the philosophy of atomic habits, a philosophy that reveals how a tiny 1% improvement repeated daily can lead to a transformation so colossal it would have once seemed like a miracle. It is the compound interest of self-improvement, silently building a fortune of character and achievement. Consider the human mind. A marvel of complexity, yet it operates on simple, ancient laws. Our brains, our very beings, are designed to conserve energy, to follow the path of least resistance. Our habits are the physical and psychological manifestation of this truth. They are the grooves we have worn in the marble of our minds, and once carved, they are incredibly difficult to change. They are the invisible masters of our days, guiding our actions, shaping our identity, often without our conscious consent. But with understanding comes power. We must not fight our nature, we must master it. And we can do this by making the first law of change our own. Make it obvious. A life of virtue and purpose is built upon a system. And a system is built upon clarity. We must bring our habits out of the shadows and into the light of our conscious mind. We must not leave our actions to the whim of a distracted self. Contemplate for a moment the immense power of a simple plan. When and where will you perform this new action? The simple formula of I will, behavior, and location is not a trivial statement. It is a vow. It is a promise to yourself. It is a moment of clear, intentional thinking that sets a new groove in the marble of your mind. We must also shape our environment, for it is the stage upon which our habits are performed. Are you surrounded by distractions? Is your mind tempted by 1,000 glittering vices? Then you are a soldier attempting to stand guard in a den of thieves. You must be the architect of your own world. If you wish to read more, place the book upon your pillow. If you wish to eat better, keep a bowl of fruit on your table. You are not a victim of your surroundings. You are the master of them. You must design your world to serve your highest purpose, to make the right choice the most obvious choice. And what of our desires? The second law is this: make it attractive. Our spirits are wired to seek pleasure, to move towards a reward. It is a primal force, a fire that burns within. We cannot extinguish this fire, but we can redirect it. We must not think of our good habits as a duty or a burden, but as a path to something we truly desire. We must make them attractive. How? By associating them with a reward. By a method known to the ancients, yet refined in modern times: temptation bundling. Pair an action you need to do with an action you want to do. Listen to that thrilling podcast only while you are on the treadmill. Sip your favorite coffee only while you are studying a challenging subject. We must learn to speak the language of our subconscious mind. We must connect the virtuous deed with a satisfying reward. And we must choose our tribe. For we are social creatures. We crave acceptance, we long to belong. And the habits of our tribe, the behaviors that are praised and celebrated by our companions, are the habits we will unconsciously adopt. If you wish to be virtuous, surround yourself with those who practice virtue. If you wish to be healthy, walk with those who value health. We are not just shaped by our thoughts, we are shaped by our peers. We must find our tribe, for our habits are the price of admission. And what of the journey itself? The great thinkers have long contemplated the virtue of consistency. But how do we build the momentum of consistency? This brings us to the third law: make it easy. The common mind believes that a habit must be a monumental act of will from the very beginning, that the first run must be a marathon, that the first day of study must be a full night of labor. This is the folly that leads to inaction and despair. The truth is far simpler and far more profound. We must make the start so easy, so effortless, that it would be a greater act of will not to do it. This is the 2-minute rule. If a habit takes less than 2 minutes to perform, it should never be delayed. It is not about the action itself, but about the ritual of showing up. If your goal is to run, the first step is to simply put on your running shoes. If your goal is to write a book, the first step is to open the document and write one sentence. The point is not the quantity but the consistency. The goal is to build a system, not to achieve a single great feat. The path to greatness is made not by conquering mountains, but by making the first step effortless. It is the accumulation of these tiny, easy victories that builds the momentum of a life. Every time you perform a habit, no matter how small, you are casting a vote for the person you wish to become. And with every vote, you are strengthening your identity. This leads us to the final and most crucial law: make it satisfying. We are creatures of immediate gratification. The rewards of our great habits, of health, of wealth, of character, are often delayed. But our minds crave a reward now. We must bridge this gap. We must find a way to make our habits immediately satisfying. This is the power of tracking. The simple act of marking an X on a calendar, of seeing a chain of consecutive days, is a reward in itself. It is a visual testament to your progress. It is a small victory that our minds can immediately celebrate. It is a way of saying, I have done well today. I am on the right path. We must not only perform the habit, we must feel the pleasure of its completion. But the ultimate satisfaction is not in the reward. It is in the becoming. This is the final truth. Our habits are not just things we do, they are the things we become. With every act of discipline, you are not just building a system, you are building a new identity. A person who practices virtue is a virtuous person. A person who exercises is an athletic person. A person who reads is a wise person. The purpose is not to simply have a good life. The purpose is to become a good person. This is the final, profound truth. The true satisfaction is found not in the arrival, but in the journey itself. In the quiet, unseen acts of character that no one will ever know about. In the small, daily victories that accumulate to form the masterpiece of a life. So my friend, contemplate this truth. Your life is not the result of a single, great act. It is the sum of a million tiny moments, a million tiny choices. What will you choose today? What small, atomic habit will you begin to cultivate? What new vote will you cast for the person you wish to become? For the river that carves the deepest canyon starts with a single drop. And the life of greatness starts with a single, tiny, atomic habit.